All right, let's get this right. Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. All right, I'm excited to share with you my thoughts on a recent release from Arrow Video on 4K Ultra HD. This is one of their 4K Ultra HD limited editions, not in a chunky box set, but I was very excited to finally see this film, The Long Kiss Goodnight, the 1996 film from director Renny Harlin, starring Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. Now out on 4K Ultra HD in this 4K set from Arrow Video. I've never seen this movie before, so when this was announced by Arrow Video a few months ago, I was intrigued to check this title out. And, you know, this is a title that I've heard of for many years. I've seen the movie posters of Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson in that famous, or a couple of those famous movie posters with them in this movie. So I've certainly heard of it, but I had no idea what this film was even about. So I was intrigued to check it out for the first time. And it's one of those nice non-chunky box 4K limited editions from Arrow Video. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you what I think about this film, what I think about the audio and video quality. How does this look on 4K Ultra HD? This is a new 4K restoration from the 35mm negative, so we love that. So how does it look? How does it sound? What are the supplements like? Is this overall package worth picking up and adding to your collection? So we'll talk about that. But yeah, The Long Kiss Goodnight from Arrow Video is out. I'm excited to share my thoughts on it. And so on the other side of this, we'll get into it. Is The Long Kiss Goodnight worth adding to your collection? Let's talk about it. All right, The Long Kiss Goodnight, the 1996 film directed by Renny Harlin, starring Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. Interestingly enough, Renny Harlin and Geena Davis were married at the time that they shot this film. And this film was intended to be basically a springboard to Geena Davis having kind of an action star type of a career. All right, so today we're diving into this underrated 90s action gem that's finally getting the quality home video treatment it deserves. The Long Kiss Goodnight on this nice 4K Arrow Video limited edition. And if you like your Christmas movies with assassins, explosions, and razor-sharp one-liners, buckle up. This one just might be for you. Now, The Long Kiss Goodnight, again, stars Geena Davis. She's Samantha Kane, a small-town school teacher with amnesia who's been living a quiet suburban life with her young daughter for the past 8 years. So she doesn't remember anything before the last 8 years of her life until a car accident triggers memories of her past as a lethal government assassin named Charlie Baltimore. Her world begins to flip upside down. With the help of a down-on-his-luck private investigator, Mitch Hennessy, played by Samuel L. Jackson, she begins to reconnect the pieces of her identity. What follows is a fast-paced action ride filled with gunfights, espionage, and a dash of holiday cheer. Of course, The Long Kiss Goodnight, the story takes place during the Christmas season, so it's one of those Christmas season type movies. So there's that discussion of, is it a Christmas movie? We'll talk about that as well. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to share my thoughts on this title here, The Long Kiss Goodnight. Now let's talk a little bit about director Renny Harlin. So director Renny Harlin has directed a number of films throughout his illustrious career. He brings his signature style to this film, The Long Kiss Goodnight. High octane, glossy, and visually bold. This is a very high octane film, has some very nice action set pieces, which Renny Harlin is well known for. When you look at the titles that are on this slide, you'll see Die Hard 2, Bruce Willis, Cliffhanger, Sylvester Stallone, Skip Trace, which I have not seen, Mindhunters I have not seen Cutthroat Island, but I have seen Deep Blue Sea, which has a 4K limited edition chunky box set from Arrow Video that a lot of people have picked up. I myself have not. I have seen Deep Blue Sea. I saw it in the theaters a long time ago. I'm not a huge shark movie person. I like Jaws, the original Jaws. Still need to watch Jaws 2 in my collection. I've seen Deep Blue Sea, and that is an intense shark movie. I saw it once, and that was enough for me, so I don't need to own it on physical media. but I know that is one handsome looking chunky box set from Arrow Video a lot of people have picked up. And so you have this nice selection of films from director Renny Harlin. Of course, you see a picture of Renny Harlin and wife at the time, Geena Davis, along with Samuel L. Jackson on set. So that is interesting to see. Writer Shane Black and director Renny Harlin, they worked together on this film, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and writer Shane Black has a number of films to his credit, including writing Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I have not seen. This is a film that stars Robert Downey Jr. and the late, great Val Kilmer. You also have The Nice Guys, which I have seen, starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Shane Black wrote that. Shane Black also wrote Iron Man 3, which is very interesting because I saw Iron Man 3 in the theaters. And I have to say, this is one of those films that I think is a little bit divisive amongst the fan base, particularly with the handling of the villain, or what we thought was the villain or whatever, the Mandarin, right? The handling of the Mandarin character in Iron Man 3 is something I could never come to terms with when I saw this movie. And so I didn't really particularly dig the direction of the film because of it. And so because of that, I never picked this up on physical media. So I want to know in the comments section below from you, what do you think? Do I need to give Iron Man 3 another chance? Are you a fan of Iron Man 3? What do you think of the handling of the Mandarin character? I need to know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. And I also need to remind myself that this is a review of The Long Kiss Goodnight, not Iron Man 3. So let's get back to let's get back to The Long Kiss Goodnight 4K review. So yeah, Shane Black and director Renny Harlin collaborated on this film, The Long Kiss Goodnight. And of course, Shane Black has a number of notable films to his writing repertoire. Geena Davis as Samantha Kane, Charlie Baltimore, and Samuel L. Jackson as Mitch. So these two basically worked together as Samantha Kane began to get her memories back. She comes into contact with this gentleman played by Samuel L. Jackson, Mitch, who is a private investigator who begins to come alongside her and protect her against those who are coming after her now that they found out that she is still alive. So these two make for an interesting pairing in this movie. There's a fair amount of comedy in this film. This is an action thriller comedy that I didn't anticipate as much comedy as I got in this movie, which I shouldn't have been that surprised by it, given that it's Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. I should have expected a little bit more levity that we got here, but I was a little bit surprised by that. But I think it worked for the most part, but in some ways it was a bit cheesy. But I think overall, Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson were okay together as sort of a buddy type film, as they're partnering together to get through this situation. But I'm still processing how well they work together, but I can definitely appreciate both actors. I like Geena Davis. I like Samuel L. Jackson. I'm just not sure how well the two of them work together on this. I think they did okay. I'm not sure if I'm prepared to go beyond that. So Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson here together as Samantha, Charlie, and Mitch. Of course, amnesia has been used as a plot device in a number of films throughout the years. So you have Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey, Leonardo DiCaprio in Shutter Island. You have The Bourne Identity. And of course, you have Memento, which was directed by the great Christopher Nolan, the Oscar-winning director Christopher Nolan, Oscar-winning director of Oppenheimer. So that is interesting. Memento here. Of course, Oppenheimer did not have amnesia, but of course I had to mention that Christopher Nolan directed Oppenheimer as well as Memento. And then David Lynch here, Mulholland Drive. Very fascinating film. So amnesia has been used as a plot device in a number of films, and it is a fairly effective plot device because it sets up mystery, right? You, the audience, are coming alongside the character who is suffering from amnesia, and you're sort of coming alongside the character as they're going through the journey of figuring out what happened in the past, who was I, what happened to me, how did I get to this place, and that mystery of the past that begins to get unfolded is something that the audience can join the character with on that journey. And that's part of what makes amnesia type films very interesting, I think. Craig Bierko made for a pretty good villain as Timothy in this movie. He plays a very important role, which I will not spoil. So Bierko, he brings a cool sociopathic confidence that makes him memorable. He's smirking at 1 minute and then threatening a child the next. He gives the film a real sense of danger, and his charisma helps sell the threat in a pretty big way. You also have Yvonne Zima, who plays Caitlin, who is Samantha's daughter. She deserves recognition for her role in this movie. She's not just a plot device. Her performance adds a lot of heart to the film, and the stakes feel personal because of her, and the mother-daughter bond grounds the movie emotionally amidst all of this chaos. This film is set during the Christmas season, so is it a Christmas movie? That is the question that is on the table here. So, when we talk about the Christmas of it all, The Long Kiss Goodnight is absolutely, in some people's mind, a Christmas movie. Like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, it uses the holiday backdrop to add contrast and irony to the chaos. There are snowy small town settings, festive music, Christmas lights wrapped around shootouts, and even a heartfelt message about family and identity. It may not be It's a Wonderful Life, but it has many of the ingredients for holiday action comfort food with a body count. So is this a Christmas movie? I'll leave that up to your interpretation. It is, at the very least, a movie that is set well within the context of the Christmas season and all this chaos and action, drama going on around it. All right, so now let's shift gears and talk about The Long Kiss Goodnight, how it looks on 4K Ultra HD from Arrow Video. This is a brand new restoration by Arrow Films from the original 35mm negative approved by director Renny Harlin. And to make a long story short, this film looks really nice on 4K Ultra HD. I was very impressed with this picture overall. It is not over-processed. It is not artificially sharpened or anything like that. It is beautifully restored, beautifully scanned, cleaned up very nicely, very nice depth, nice clarity. Looks very nice in the daytime scenes and nighttime scenes. A very clean looking picture. I think the Dolby Vision added just enough punch to the colors, gave the film a pretty nice dynamic range overall. This is just a very nice, solid looking 4K presentation that I have absolutely no complaints about whatsoever. I think this film looks very nice on the 4K format, so I have no complaints about that. The audio is DTS HD Master Audio Stereo 2.0. Now, I was not listening to this on any fancy sound system. I was just watching it on my 4K picture or my 4K TV in our main living room. So I didn't have a fancy audio setup, but it sounded very nice, just even off the TV audio. So I can imagine if it was taking advantage of the 5.1 system there, that you would get a very nice experience, especially with some of those action scenes and some of the climactic scenes that take place, like is pictured here with this bridge. You're getting some pretty nice sound activity there, and I think this disc will deliver that to you. So from a video and audio standpoint, very strong presentation from Arrow Video. They typically do a very nice job on these releases, and The Long Kiss Goodnight is no exception whatsoever. I also think that Arrow Video did a pretty nice job with the supplements to this edition here, and there are a number of very fascinating supplements on this edition. There are a couple of audio commentaries that you'll want to take advantage of, including the brand new audio commentary by film critic Walter Chow and a brand new commentary by film critics Drusilla Adeline and Joshua Conkle, co-host of the Bloodhouse podcast. That's a pretty entertaining one to listen to, so definitely take advantage of those two audio commentaries. There are two audio commentaries on here. That's always or usually a very nice thing. And then on the Blu-ray, you don't have the film, but you have additional bonus features. So you've got Symphony of Destruction, a new interview with co-stunt coordinator Steve M. Davidson. You have Long Live the New Flesh, a new interview with makeup artist Gordon G. Smith. You also have a couple of features here that feature one featuring Von Zima, who played Caitlin in this film. She played Caitlin, the daughter of Geena Davis. And you have critic and filmmaker Howard S. Berger. They're featured in the supplement. So you have Girl Interrupted, a new interview with Yvonne Zima talking about her experiences playing Caitlin in this movie and her relationship with Geena Davis, which was very cool. And also The Mirror Cracked, a new visual essay here by Howard S. Berger, which is very nice to see. You also have a feature called Amnesia Chick, which deals with dueling identities in The Long Kiss Goodnight, which is a very good feature, which talks about how different films out there throughout the years have used amnesia as a plot device, as I mentioned before, The Long Kiss Goodnight being one of those examples. This is a very good supplement that talks about that. And then there were generally positive reviews for The Long Kiss Goodnight, but unfortunately it did not translate into tremendous box office success. So you see a couple of items here, one from the Philadelphia Daily News, and then another one over here to the right that talks about she's almost enough woman for two lives, and the action's pretty good too. And it's a little of everything and a lot of suspense in Long Kiss Goodnight. So a couple of very nice articles there talking about The Long Kiss Goodnight when it came out in 1996. All right, let's take a look at what's in this package of the Arrow Video 4K limited edition of The Long Kiss Goodnight. The supplements are really good. Let's take a look at what is inside this edition. Now, of course, this is the slipcase, which has the new art here, which has Geena Davis's character in silhouette against the backdrop of this famous scene toward a certain part of the movie that I won't spoil. I put the original theatrical movie poster on here, which you have that reversible art available, and I typically put on the traditional movie poster there to contrast with the new art. So I like that. Then on the inside, you have your 4K Ultra HD disc here, which has the movie and the commentaries. And then your Blu-ray disc has the additional bonus features. That is super cool. Says Amnesia Chick on there. I like that. And then you have, let's see what's on this side here, the contents over here. I'm going to pull those out here real quickly. And we can take a look. You have Samuel L. Jackson and on the other side, he's saying Merry Christmas, which is very nice of him. So nice of Sam Jackson to say that. Incubus, which I have in the collection right here. This wonderful edition on 4K Ultra HD starring a pre-Captain Kirk William Shatner. You have this here, Skating Prohibited Thin Ice by order of the Chesterman Parks Authority. Chesterman Parks Authority, very nice. And then you get Arrow Video includes this very nice booklet, stapled booklet. You see here, the world's best mom, the gun. I love that. It's basically contrasting Samantha Cain, and then of course Charlie, her other personality from 8 years prior, the government agent assassin. You see Charlie here, Geena Davis pictured here, very nice. You see both sides, Geena Davis and Sam Jackson. This booklet has a couple of very nice essays in here that I think you ought to take into account. Of course, you see the cast and credits. That wonderful scene there with the bridge and the explosion. Fantastic stuff. But check out this essay, The School Teacher, the Spy, and the Private Eye on The Long Kiss Goodnight by Priscilla Page. Very nice stuff. This is a really, really good essay. And then there's another one on here that I think you should check out for sure. Very good stuff. Of course, you see Geena Davis and Sam Jackson. Some nice pictures included in this stapled booklet. It's a Man's World by Richard Kadrey. Very nice. So some really good information included in this Arrow Video stapled booklet. Sorry, I've got my my throat got a little dry there. Sorry. But yeah, this is a very nice addition overall from Arrow Video. Very nice package that you get here. And of course, again, I always like to put, this is the new art here, but I always opt to have the theatrical art on the case to contrast with the new art that is on the slip. And together they make for a very nice overall package, 4K limited edition from Arrow Video. So yeah, there you have it. Overall, I think this is a very nice addition from Arrow Video. It's a very nice looking 4K picture. The audio is solid, nice special features. And this is one of those additions that I can definitely appreciate. Now, the film itself, how do I feel about the movie? I think the movie is okay. You know, I'm glad I finally had a chance to see this underrated 90s action thriller comedy gem. But you know, is it one of my favorite films of the 90s? No. You know, but is it a good, solid, entertaining action thriller comedy movie? Yes, absolutely. I think I enjoy Geena Davis in this. I love Geena Davis. I think she's wonderful. I think Samuel L. Jackson is just wonderful. And so it's good to see them in a film. I'm not sure how well they are together, but I think they made it work, and they made it work, you know. And I think this film overall is okay in my book. I think if you are a huge fan of this movie, this is an absolute no-brainer pickup. If you are not a big fan of this movie, but you want to pick this up and you like Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson, definitely wait for a sale. There's no rush to pick this one up, but it is one that if you're looking for an entertaining ride, you want to pop something in the player and just kick back and watch a pretty entertaining movie set during the Christmas season, definitely consider checking out The Long Kiss Goodnight. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on The Long Kiss Goodnight Arrow Video 4K limited edition. I think Arrow does a really nice job with these limited editions. So even if you're not just totally in love with the movie, by the time you go through the supplements and the special features, it just gives you a little bit more appreciation for that title, even if it's not a title that you were over the moon in love with. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about The Long Kiss Goodnight. What do you think about this movie? Is this one of your favorite movies from Renny Harlin? If so, let me hear about that. Let me hear your favorite movies from that director, as well as your favorite movies starring Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. Let me know all that in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Talk to you soon. Peace.